Hi all my stamping friends, welcome to my studio for another episode of Mystery Stamping. Today is January the 25th and this is take 2 of Mystery Stamping for today, because earlier in the morning whenever I did Mystery Stamping, the recording went wrong with the recording, so I'm re-recording and I'm going to do an extra couple of cards, and so let's get started. Today we are doing our base of boho blue, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then we have a coordinating card that is 4 inches by 5.25. We also have some basic white. Now this is for the inside, and this is at 5 inches by 3.5. And a fellow demonstrator, she said that she does not do the 5.25 by 4 for the inside because she can get 5 pieces out of a piece of cardstock, and so I like to pass that along to all of my fellow crafters out there, and so you can get 5 out of a sheet. So I like whenever you craft smarter, not harder. And then we have a die cut piece here, a shape, and this is the let's see, I think it's contoured scallop stitch shape is what it's called, I believe. And then I have another piece here, and mine are just a little bit narrower. I think it's like 3.5 by like 2.125 maybe. So it's whatever size shapes that work best for you. And then I have some designer series paper, and that piece is 5.125, 5.125 by 3.7/8. And then I have, and that's in portrait, and then I have another piece here that's 3.5 by 1/2 inch. And then I have this little bird that I fussy cut it out of the paper. And the paper that we're using is from the Sale-A-Bration Catalog, and it is called Fly and Airy, and it's the 12 by 12. And there's a lot of gorgeous papers in this. And so in the catalog, you can find that paper on, let's see, on page 6, and it's free with a $50 order. So if you purchase $50 worth of merchandise before tax and shipping, you can choose to add on the Flight and Airy 12 by 12 paper for your free item, or any of the other items that are in here with a $50 purchase. And so and this is my embellishment that I'm going to use, so let's get started. So for today's card, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fold this in half, get it ready here. I'll find my bone folder. And this is just a really cute card. I think that it spotlights the DSP, at least I feel that it does. And then you just have to have a little bit of an element. And I like to take my glue and add it to the corners, and it will come out the bottom. And on this side, it kind of almost looks like linen and water, like a watercolor paper maybe with a. But on this side, it looks more of a print with a little bit of watercolor to it. So I'm just going to add that like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that to the inside of my card. These go to, once you have everything cut out, they go together very quickly. Now on mine, I'm going to do some extra elements on my focal part. Having trouble getting the glue to come out. If you turn your cardstock sideways, and then so you have it in a landscape mode, you have more points to reference to get it straight on your, to get it straight together. So there we go. That looks pretty straight. I'm going to take the inside piece and add just a strip of glue going across the bottom there. Because I have this glob, I'm going to start off the page and kind of pull it onto the page. That way it squishes under this and not off the paper. Hopefully, anyway. Open this up. And if you caught my mystery this morning, this is probably in a little bit different order, but it gets the card made. We have mystery stamping every other week, so about twice a month. And I'd like for you to possibly join me. Set this up here to the top and bring in my little paper, and the I'm going to use this tree branch from the Lighting the Way, and then I'm bringing in the go-to greetings for my Just a Note. Alright, so I have my Just a Note already on a block, and I have my limb already on a block. And so the colors I'm coming in with, I have a block here to do some, I've got Garden Green, Shaded Spruce, Calypso Coral, and Pool Party, and this block is to do some blending. So I'm just going to add some ink to that, and then I should be finished with that for now. And I want to grab my blending brush, and I'm just going to pick up this ink. And if you do it from a block, you don't get as much ink on as if you take it from the ink pad. And so I'm going to start blending off and then add. Now I have a sample where I did not add the Pool Party. If I'm shaking the camera, I'm sorry. I'm just going to add a little bit there. Set that off to the side. And bring in my Calypso Coral and my Just a Note. That looks pretty good. Get that out of the way. Okay, I'm going to bring in the Shaded Spruce, and I have a finger dauber here, and I want to grab this Garden Green, and I ink it up in Shaded Spruce, this limb, and then I'm going to grab the Garden Green and just get it on this finger dauber, and I'm going to go over the leaves and just give it a little bit of a different green color. Okay, close that. Give this a breath. Bring it down here towards the bottom. Stamp. Hold it for a moment. And lift. So I'll move my paper out of here for now. Close that one up. Alright, so we will start adding this all together. So on the back of this, I'm going to add dimensionals. Card base in this end. Trying to add that there. Flip that over. Give it a few more dimensionals. What I like about this is with the paper being the star of the card, but then adding these layers and popping them up, it makes it in person just kind of like pop off the page. Trying to lay that on there. Try to get it straight as I can. There we go. Bring this in and add a couple dimensions here. Let's see him perched up on this little. And there we go. So here's this one. And then earlier, this is one without the adding the pool party to it. So this one here, it just kind of gives it more dimension to it. So there we go. So there's our card. That's one of our cards. So we solved the mystery with our clues. And so there's card number one. And like I said, I have a second, maybe third card here. So this card is, this is that Azure Afternoon, I believe it's called, and it's in the card base, our coordinating card stock. These are all the same measurements except for this one here, and this is Lemon Lolly. This is our basic white for the inside. Our DSP is the same side. This is from the, let's see, from Lighter Than Air 6x6. That's in the mini catalog. And so this is the striped side. I just wanted that side. And then this is some of the paper that is just Kidden, and it's 12 by 12, and I thought this paper so cute, and so just cut the little images out to put on my card. Okay, so this here, these are just a little bit bigger because this is the, I believe they're the radiating stitch dies, and then I just cut a piece of plain cardstock like I did for the other to go within that decorative part. So we'll get started with this. So you can use different DSPs and different images. to using the same card layout. That's the part that I like about mystery stamping, is you take the same card layout. Everybody uses what supplies they have at home, and we all create a card, and you can just watch if you want, but you create a card, and because everybody's supplies are different, then everybody's cards use the same pattern, but then they all have their own elements. It's a little bit too much, but it'll be fine. So I'm just going to layer that on a lemon lolly. Put my card base in. I do not know what is going on. I'll try to fix that so it'll come out correctly. Otherwise, I'm going to use the whole bottle. There. It was just some goop on the cap, I guess. Okay, so we're going to take that. Like I said, if you put it in landscape, you've got more reference points. And it's a little bit easier to get it on straight. Just hold that. Alright, so now then, there's my little piece. We'll take that across just a small line if I can, and then lay that down like that. And all I did was take the little bit that's off that front piece, you have the smaller insert. If you like to write a lot on the inside, then you want the bigger piece. If you just want to be able to send a card and tell them, you know, best wishes, then sometimes having less space is better. Alright, so on this one here, we're going to do the same thing that we did the last time. So I still have ink on that block. That's why I didn't wipe it off. And we'll bring in and get a little bit of the ink off there. So I'll start swirling this on. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. So we were using the pool party for that, but we're going to bring in our copper clay and the words "Happy Birthday." We're going to stamp this up here at the top. Okay. And our dimensionals. Just adding them. Go ahead and add them to the pieces. And on this one, I know that it's going to hang off this piece just a little bit, so I'm just going to come in a little step so that I know that it's on this piece here. And then up here for this flag, I've got some mini dimensionals. So there we go. So let's start doing all of our layering. Take the backs off this piece. Like that. Take the backs off this piece. Add it to the front of here. What's nice is when you have a pattern that gives you a reference line, so you can get it on as straight as possible. But if it's a little bit crooked, it's homemade. You know you made it. Take all the backs off this one. We'll come in. Come down here and add that to the front. So there's a second card using that same card design, just by adding a different type of embellishment there of imagery and doing a different one of the die cuts. So I have another card. Let's bring this one in. And this is Lemon Lolly for our base. Same dimensions, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Trying to line that up. There we go. Oh. Okay, so there's that. Did a little bit of coloring and things, so this is my 5 by 4 1/4, and then our DSP is the same size as on the other two cards. I think it's like 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I keep wanting to say 5 1/4. I knew that was wrong. And this paper is our Brights bundle in the annual catalog. And this is Crumb Cake. And I said that was Lemon Lolly for the base. So we're just adding to the, I like to add to the corners. It helps adhere the corners down better. Put that there. Get that chance to adhere. Bring in our inside piece. Glue across there. On the inside, glue on there. I can feel something. This is just a glue eraser that we used to carry, and They sell them on Amazon now. Well, I guess they sold them before too. But alright, so this is crumb cake, and then this is a stitched rectangle die. And I'm looking for my ruler so that I could possibly tell you about what size they are. And I'm not finding the ruler, so I can maybe measure it here in a little bit and tell you. I know where there's a ruler real quick. One moment. It's my little magnetic metal ruler. That'll work. Okay, so the crumb cake, this time I'm not doing white on white, and it is 4 3/16, it looks like, by 2 3/4. And the stitched rectangle is 3 7/8, or no, 3 and, sorry, I think it might be 15/16. There's a glare on it. So it's just one, the smallest notch under the 4, so 15/16. So I'm pretty certain that it is. And this one here is 2 5/8. That's what it looks like to be. And then I have some little pieces here. I have the tree limb from the little monkey. So I did this little tree limb, and then I did this cute little monkey here and this heart, and I stamped them in early espresso. I normally would not recommend doing it that way, but I stamped them in early espresso so that they're kind of have a brown cast to them instead of black. And I also did the heart that way. So I'm going to bring this paper back in, and I have a different blender, and I have, I just stuck my hand in that, lemon lolly. Clean this block off where I had pool party on it. Turn it over just in case. Put lemon lolly on there. Add it to my brush. And right here in the center, I'm going to add a little bit of that lemon lolly. Okay. Doesn't need a lot, but you can see that it's on there. And I'm going to grab a wipe, clean that block. Alright. That out of the way. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the copper clay for my greeting. And the greeting that we're using is just swinging by to say hi. Link that up. Haven't used this yet, so I'll stamp that off. Get some kind of a coating on them. to swing by to say hi. Okay. Alright, so I went ahead and colored these in. For the heart, like I said, I stamped it in early espresso, and then I filled it in with dark lemon lolly. And then for the monkey and the tree limb, I used, for the face, I did dark petal pink for the face and the ears, and then I did light crumb cake and dark crumb cake, and then I also did light and dark pecan pie so that I could get more of a gradient. So I started out with the lighter colors and just kept adding so I could get a more gradient color there. Then I fussy cutted those out. So I'm going to take this limb and I'm going to hook that monkey's tail around and put his feet on this side. Just see how far out it comes. So I think I'll do that. Alright, so I know this is where I want to attach it. So I want to use a glue dot, I think, for that. Just kind of ball it up. I'll put it, oops. So I'm going to put it underneath this tail so that I know that that's where I want it to go. Alright, then I'm going to turn it over, and these little dimensionals, I can add them there. The monkey. Oops. So like that. Peel these backings off. Some of these backings are little. I end up having backings all over my house. So take that and I want my limb to kind of go up at an angle a little bit. So like that. I just wanted that glue dot to kind of hold it there together. So I'm going to turn this over. With my scissors, I'll just trim that along my piece. And I want to add my heart. I'll take one of these small dimensionals. I want to cut little slivers. So I want to put them behind the hands. So I'm just going to take the backing off while it's on here and grab it. Just kind of put this behind the hand because I want to be able to slide it in towards the heart so it looks like it's holding the heart. Like that. So you can manipulate it a little bit. You can't do a lot because then it'll tear. The other cards I've made all of those already. This one is the first time I'm making this one. I thought he'd be cute. So now it looks like he's holding that heart. Okay. Move those out of the way. Now this one I'm just going to go ahead and glue down because it's not a decorative piece behind. Just add that there, and then we'll bring in those dimensionals again. There we go. I add dimensionals to several orders just because I use a lot of them because I love them. And then put that in here like that. And there we go. We have another card using that same layout for my mystery stamp. And so here's that one. We will bring this one back in, and we will bring that one back in. So there we go. So here's my original one that I was going for whenever I did my mystery, and then I decided to try it with this paper and then with this paper and stamp as well. So I hope that you'll give these patterns a try and maybe join me for mystery stamping. You can find the information for my mystery stamping on my website, Stampin Up. And so it's creativecoachlisa.stampinup.net, and go to the events page and look for the different events that I offer and register for the mystery so that I can send out the link as to where we'll be doing the presentation at. And then, but you can always follow and see the replay on YouTube. So thank you for joining me today in my studio and crafting along with me, and happy stamping. Goodbye.